Come on, ladies, look at that gluteus maximus. Look at them glutes and those hammies.
Are you filming?
When am I not filming?
Morning, guys. It is Thursday, August 14th, a little before 6 a.m. I just got up to my friend TJ Finley's house. We're getting together this morning for a run in a lift. And CJ's become a great friend ever since we did High Rocks Pro Doubles together back in March. And I'm currently in the phase of life of marathon training. CJ is in a little bit of a different phase himself. He's about to welcome his second child any day now. And he's a super successful athlete, entrepreneur, father, husband, and really been a mentor to me ever since I've met him, honestly. So super thankful to get together with CJ this morning. And I thought I'd take you along and just show you what we get into, and hopefully offer up some advice and some takeaways of a fit dad during this stage of life, because I think it's super interesting how we're still prioritizing fitness and health and friendship, and I think it's awesome. So follow along this morning.
What are we rocking today? Where are these?
All right, we are.
Looks like you have like almost the same shoes as
You're close.
I do.
These are the Asics Super Blast 2s. They have a little more stack height and cushion, and you can tell they're built for higher mileage shoe. They're built for being able to put on 400. This shoe should be able to take 400, 500, 600 miles. And it's really built for marathon training, which is what I'm doing right now, training for the Chicago Marathon. So I needed a pair of shoes that could take the pounding of all the miles that I'm putting on my legs, and this is the shoe right now.
Just by chance, I've literally never worn Asics in my life. I just walked into a Fleet Feet and was like, I'm gonna try a random brand that I have never tried before, and picked these up about, I think, like 2 months ago now.
2 months ago. Those look like the Nova Blast.
I guess these are Blast Max. I don't know. I'm the type of person that, like, I just am a guinea pig. I try all different types of shoes and clothes and technology to see which one I like the most. Just to show you that I wasn't bullshitting about trying different shoes. We got Reeboks. We got Brooks, Pumas, the Asics, Ultras, another pair of Ultras. I like to try them all out, and even just like different, like I think these are the carbon fiber Ultras. I just like to try different things and see what works and what doesn't, and why I'm not particularly into one brand. How much caffeine you drinking per day?
Me?
You're in training.
I have a cup of coffee in the morning, which will be, I don't know, probably 150, 200, and then probably half of the days of the week I have another 200 milligrams around like midday. But that's about it.
Damn, boy, look at that calf. Woo!
35 minutes. Right?
No. Wait.
7 times 5?
Yeah. Don't do math at
Do math at 6 a.m.
6:20 in the morning. 7 would be 35. So 40 would be 8.
Be 8.
So maybe like 37 minutes we'll be back.
We'll see.
That's how it goes. That's so weird. So look at the difference on this watch. All I do is click start, and then bingo.
Dang.
Look at that. We just started. What's your watch?
Garmin.
Let's go.
We going? Garmin.
There's no rules here.
Garmin 265.
Garmin 265.
Garmin 265.
All right, I have the Coros. I don't know what
Course Pro.
Corso?
I think it's Course Pro.
No idea, but this is what it looks like when I'm running. Obviously, there's different faces that you can use, but it's always interesting to see what people are using and how it looks. So Jake just asked me if I edit my own videos, and I think that's a great question for anyone out there of when should you edit them and when should you not. And I'm big on, if you're creating videos where you filmed it and you know the story, doing a first edit of it. So you go through and you look at all the footage you have and then piece it together and then build a system where you can tell an editor who's going to be way better at transitions, musicality, tying it all together. They're going to be better than you because that's their career choice. So you set them up for success by, what I do is I put files in folders and Storytel, and then I put it on WeTransfer and send it over to an editor.
Wanting to explore, be creative myself, and learn how to edit my own videos and Storytel. And I'm curious, would you give the same advice to someone just starting out in my shoes, or like maybe some trial and error and learning how to do things myself, or would you still maybe pass it on to someone that knows a little bit more about what they're doing?
I think that's another great question. To answer questions like these, you always have to ask, well, what's the end goal? If my goal is to get the videos watched and my bank account depends on those videos being watched and my bills depend on it, then I would find somebody that's gonna help you get watch time and more eyes on those videos as much as possible. That's the goal. But if you're somebody that is just picking it up as a hobby and maybe you have a full-time job already and you're just dabbling to learn and there's no pressure there, I would go about it that way, just because I am curious and love to learn. And I think it's a skill everybody should know how to have. But the question always becomes, what is your end goal? So what is your end goal, Jake?
I mean, right now, it's not my primary source of income. I'm not using it to provide for myself or a family right now. So in this stage of life, the end goal is to learn the skill and pick up the skill and be more confident in myself and building and storytelling. But as CJ mentioned, the end goal down the road could be to potentially monetize it and work with brands and partnerships. So I think it's important to view it with that longer term lens as well and keep my eye on that end goal, as CJ said. So I feel like there's some validity on both sides, if that makes sense.
AKA being a human is different for everybody. Jake just looked at me and he was like, yo, we could slow down a little bit. And I was like, nah, fam. I want to go faster. Just like Jocko. Good. They got here in the burp. Woo! Getting sniped by trees, dude. Welcome to my hood. Not a song.
Yeah, it's a song.
So we started this run without even talking about what the fuck we're actually doing. We just texted each other 5 miles, then lift after. So based on, we're about to be 2 miles in. What are we doing right now?
We're training for life, to be fit. And I think I drove out to CJ's this morning because honestly, you're like a mentor to me, and I envision myself down this path of fatherhood, fitness, showing up for each other, still prioritizing relationships and friendships. And these little things mean a lot to me, just to be able to get together and train. I love training with other like-minded individuals. And fun fact, I almost did not send the text to CJ to get together and work out because I know how busy you are. And I was like, man, I don't want to bother this guy. I don't want to burden this guy. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna send it anyway. I sent the text and CJ was like, dude, are you kidding me? Come on out. Let's get together for some miles and hit some weights and spend the morning together. So it's cool how it, cool how it all
I'm over
worked
here
out.
almost tripping off the...
Now we're here, man. Now we're here, we're making it happen.
So why did you pick to run Chicago?
I chose the Chicago Marathon because I'm running in tandem for charity, Best Buddies of Illinois. They're a nationwide organization as well, but they provide opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and help them connect them to real world opportunities.
Morning.
To honestly just live life. Those individuals often don't have a chance to live a quote unquote normal life. So that's why I'm running the Chicago Marathon for Best Buddies. And then also another big part of it for me is I got about 6 or 8 of my friends from Illinois and we're all doing it for Best Buddies. So we're all coming together for common goal. A lot of these dudes aren't marathon runners, so they're going way outside their comfort zone to train and hit a PR in distance for the Chicago Marathon. So it's all a great weekend where we're all coming together as friends to raise money for a great cause, but also we're doing something hard and challenging ourselves, and we all have our own goals for the race. And I think it's just gonna be an awesome full circle moment, full circle weekend.
This is why you train or run with other people. We're at like a 7:12 pace. My heart rate's at like 168. I'm doing a lot of filming and talking, so that contributes to it. But I guarantee you, Jake's heart rate right now is probably like 130, 140, and he's pushing the pace. Look at this. So I have no choice but to do my best to keep up, or look like a little bitch, and I don't want to do that. So here we are, getting faster even when I'm tired. Hi, puppy. Oh, by the way, his heart rate's 140. Mine's 170. Yeah, there's levels to this game. Oh, but what do I got on you, Jake?
Supposedly, the jury's still out that CJ has a younger biological age than me. I don't think it's true. I have to get I gotta go back for second rounds of tests to verify the information. But
oh, he's gonna be butthurt
this guy's always,
when that happens, dude.
He's always throwing his biological age in my face. Bruh. But I'll show him what it's like in the real world.
Wrong way, bro.
Go right.
This is how I win.
He knows the course. And I'm still gonna bust his ass.
Yeah. But I'm younger.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do some 4x4?
Let's do it.
Some off-roading, baby.
I didn't bring my trail shoes, but
gotta spice it up somehow, man. Being out here running the same fucking loop over and over again is tough. It's honestly tougher than doing the thing.
Yeah.
Getting my mind to shut up and just not complain. Humans, we are built to complain and problem solve and figure out more optimal ways to do things. But a lot of times when it comes to training, the most optimal way is to just shut up and get it done.
I agree.
But I like to spice it up a little bit. So we're going into the woods for our last about half mile. How we doing, big man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. I heard this, just you speaking sparked this quote, but I heard this the other day, is it's human nature for us to settle for less, settle for the bare minimum. It's human nature. We want to remain comfortable, not push ourselves on a 5-mile run in the morning, not get out of bed and
To the right.
you know make the drive. And I think that's, just think about that. It's human nature to settle for less. Everybody out here, the vast majority, they're settling for less. But not us, not you. Make the decision to pursue more, be more, achieve more, become your greatest self, and get after it. That's my message this morning.
And have fun.
And have fun.
Woo!
And have fun. That's super important. Super important.
It's more fun with friends. Okay. 5.42 miles. 5.42 miles. 7:31 pace, which, considering we were talking, filming, getting after it in that way, whew, that was pretty good. That's the interesting thing about filming content when you're doing activities, is that probably felt like I ran 5 miles at a 6:30 pace, and my heart rate showed that. But the cool thing is we are knocking multiple things out within our purpose all at the same time. So physically making ourselves better, connection with a friend. Third, being creative, being artsy fartsy, doing something we're passionate about, just creating content that will hopefully educate other people in multiple areas of their life, challenge them to enter the arena, fitness, family, friends, content creation. You got one life, you got one chance to make every heartbeat count. We won the first, I'd say, hour of our day so far. Now we got to stack that. So what are we going to start off with?
We are going to start today's leg and shoulder session with some trap bar deadlifts. And I think we're going to work into some lunges as well.
What are we finishing after legs?
Shoulders. Boulder shoulders, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Little tip for Jake as he's getting more involved in content. Everything is about systems. If you've ever seen my content, you know that I always talk about systems. Even when it comes to recording content, setting yourself up for success and reducing the amount of friction. So when you think about shooting content, in the beginning of your journey, you're gonna find yourself probably putting your phone on random things with water bottles holding it up, and sometimes it falls, it'll crack, and then you go and you buy a cheap little rig like this, and that one breaks, and then you start figuring out like, I could build a system around this to make it frictionless. So in my mind, what people need to be doing is like spend the extra $20 and put these in multiple rooms. So you're not carrying them around and there's less risk of breaking them. So I have one of these in my studio, I have one of these in my garage, I have one of these in my truck, so that I'm using them in each space that I'm gonna record content, and are already there. I don't even have to think about it. And then on top of that, I have my DJI. So this one right here, the beauty of this is it has my DJI, and I can flip this out and use a phone at the same time. So all I have to do is fold that down, fold that up if I want to use a phone. So that way, when I'm only on the go with this thing, I can use this for my phone and my DJI. And the beauty of the DJI is it's as simple as going like this to shoot horizontal and vertical. And then for days where we might be a little extra creative, or we're shooting for YouTube and I want to bring out my real camera, as people would call it, I have a tripod right there that we can leverage to shoot B-roll content. And then obviously my main man Jake here is holding the camera. On top of that, I have a little mic, so that way it just amplifies when we talk a little bit better than if I just didn't have that. And there you go. That's a simple system that can help you maximize your content. You see, like, I have multiple different cameras here, and I got one last thing. when we were running, I have this extender for our GoPro. And this GoPro has stabilization in it. So when we're running and talking, it'll stabilize. But this thing right here is beautiful because even if I just had the GoPro, the system of having a tripod is right there. Systems.
I didn't know. I felt lost in life. Like, just like what's my life gonna look like in 5, 10, 15 years? I couldn't see like the vision or the path. And like what was my default instead of addressing those problems was just training more. And it was like, what I'm gonna train for a half Ironman. I'm gonna sign up for a marathon all within like 4 months, and like honestly like beat my body to the ground because I had all these like life things that I needed to address and figure out that I was just avoiding.
Just wrapped the workout. Jake, you get to train with a lot of other people in a lot of different environments right now in your stage of life. I just want to say thank you for coming out and joining me here this morning. What was your takeaway today versus all the other training sessions you have leading up to your marathon?
Yeah. Number one, CJ, thanks for having me out here. This morning was a blast. And my main takeaway today is I've been training with a lot of marathon focused and running focused groups and individuals. And it was kind of enlightening and a breath of fresh air to be around CJ, who's doing something entirely different right now. Still running, but also just mixing running with the weights and then getting advice and just talking about life when it comes to business, content creation, how to level up across life as a whole. So just different types of conversations and leaning on someone who's more experienced, who's been there, done that, kind of done a lot of the things that I want to do and accomplish in my life. And was my main takeaway of today.
What is one action outside of obviously continuing to run and get fit that you're going to take that qualifies as living more life or to more life as your brand states? What is an action that you're taking away from here today that you're going to go put effort into?
Yeah. I think that action, man, it's a great question. To more life is about, I think, leaning into things that might be like uncomfortable or addressing areas of your life that you need to improve on. And I think for me, CJ and I talked a lot about like setting up systems and processes in order to, I want to dive into content creation personally more. And that's a main takeaway for me is like, I'm not super great at it right now, but if I set up the systems and the processes and take some of the advice that he gave me today and just take the next step, right? I don't need to go do 10,000 things at once and like these big massive investments, but like a little chunk here goes a long way, and a little bit and a little bit. So I think like that's how I can take action leaving here today, not just like leave it as a discussion, but actually take it and find little ways to implement it into my life.
Oh yeah. Well, appreciate you coming out. Cheers to the next one.
Cheers.